Hello, this is Visa in Korea, Mr. John. How are you today? It is getting cold, right? Very chilly in the morning time and also at the evening time. Is neither very warm clothing when you go out. Anyway, also I received several questions and messages for the any benefit for D2-7 visa, right, holders. So what is the D2-7 and actually the foreigners or international student they really don't know what is that one. So I just explain about the D2-7 visa, right? It's a translation into the Korean to English a little bit complicated. The original Korean word is 일학습 연계 visa, right? It's kind of the work and study linked visa, right? But anyway, D2-7 is for just make it short and explanation as just a government scholarship student visa, right? Okay, so today I'm gonna focus on the F5 visa and the D2 visa holders, right? So let us start. Okay, the D2-7 is actually is given to the D2-1 associate degree and holder, D2-2 the bachelor, D2-3 the master, and D2-4 the postdoc degree course and an international student. So D2-7 is actually it has started from 2016, right? It's a new system, but there was no any that kind of a D2-7 video before, before the 2016. The what is the D2-7? It is kind of the government scholarship uh, in a visa, right? So usually the for the undergraduate and the associate degree, bachelor's degree, right? And 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 select and the government, Korean government selecting 150 and the international student. And for the graduate, the course like a master or postdoc, 800, right? So, if you are a scholar, the government scholarship student, even if you got D2-1, D2-2, or D2-3, D2-4, when you apply for your visa, D2, the student visa in overseas, you can apply for the D2-7 directly. But when you come to Korea and you can see that your ARC as just the D2, right? D2 UHOP, right? D2 international student, and the mark don't add. But actually, if you got and the government scholarship, and you can apply for the D2-7 instead of the four D2 the visas, or when you come to Korea with a D2-1, 2, 3, 4, and you can just change it to D2-7 when you register your ARC or uh, when you if you have at least one semester remains and you can change to your current D2 visa to D2-7, right? Can you understand that, right? I'm not really sorry about that. So, what is the benefit of D2-7? I just posted it. There's some benefit about D2-7 when you apply for the E7-1 and F2-7, and there's some part of information about the F5. But today I am just focusing on F5. So if you meet this requirement and you try for the F5 and visa, right? So I'd like to recommend is two the best and the permanent residency based on the D2-7, right? Okay, let us start for the next the session. But anyway, F510, and when if you have a E7-1, right? Because of our why does I just wrote it E71 because of F5 basic and the applicant shall be D7, D8, and D9. Like D7 intra the company, it's kind of like a dispatching, right? From the overseas corporate into one of the Korean branch office. And D8 and a corporate investment, the foreign direct investment and investor. D9 is kind of the private company and the investment in the visa, right? Or E1 professor. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. And E1 and a professor to a special activity visa E7 and also F2 visa, right? So except for this visa, it is difficult to apply for the permanent residency except for marriage migrant and F6 and the visa holders. But anyway, what is the requirement for the F510? Uh, if you held D2-7, and before you got E71, so the period, if you have a E71 visa, so E71 to the F510, so I needed to check that. So if you got the advanced technology majors, kind of engineering and the bachelor's degree, or you got the master's degree in Korea with a previously D2-7 holder, GKS, Korean government scholarship student, and E71 to how long? It depends on your degree, right? But I will let you know that the bachelor's in engineering and the master's, any kind of a subject, it doesn't matter. With a government scholarship, with a D2-7, right? So after you graduation or exactly receipt of your diploma, right? Bachelor's degree or master's degree, right? And then from that date to 3 years in the past, during these 3 years, you have to work 1 year with a E7, right? So totally 3 year, right? 3 year. This is a date of your acquisition of your diploma, right? And 3 year. Within 3 year, and based on the date of application for the F510, you have to work the 1 year. Can you understand? So date of the receiving your diploma, the starting date here to the 3 years are required, more than 3 years, exactly including 3 years. But within this period, and you have to work more than 1 year, right? At the time of your application for the F510, okay? Period, can you understand it? As an income, okay, I will explain later then. KIB stage 5 completion is required, and also regular worker, you have to be a regular worker more than which one? 1 year, okay? 1 year. And a criminal record, you have to bring from your country. So what is the income? Don't need GNI. GNI income is not required. Not required. So what is the, if you got an E71, GNI 80%, 80%, and you can prove it, yeah, it is okay. Clear, all right? So how about the F516? If you have a F27, right, from the D2 or from E7 to F27, it doesn't matter, right? If you got an E7, so period, from the 3 years, 3 years from the F27, so you can apply for the F516, right? The income I'll talk to later. The KIP in the stage 5 completion. A regular worker, you need a regular worker. F516, it doesn't need it. no need. Okay, F516, it doesn't need a regular worker. Need F510 is required, but F516 is not required for a regular worker. Why? F2-7 itself can work and can run your own business. So that you want a regular worker, it is not that the mandatory requirement. The criminal record is required. Also, okay, the final we can check the GNI. No need GNI. So you can check that. So the previously F510 and the need, they write something to make it clear for that, right? Okay, good. Okay, so what is the F5, the E71 itself is required for the GNI 80%. All right, GNI 80% income. This is a mandatory, right? Because when you apply for the E71, GNI 80% is required. So you have to meet income as a GNI 80%. How about the F516? But this is you can work, but you can do something, right? So GNI one-time requirement is not required. But how to prove your income? How to prove your income? Without the income, can you do that? Yes. Actually, there is no any required for your income, but it is not. There is no any the specific and guideline for the income about that. But based on my experience and understanding, and at least you have to earn 12 times of which one? Yeah, monthly basic income. This is a mandatory, right? But not exactly mandatory for the income. There is no any specific guideline. But think about it. After 7 minutes, you can work or you can run your own business. But the income, without income, there is no income is required. But you have to do meet at least the basic income. Because why? You have to live and you have to spend some expenses, at least your basic and the income. So my recommendation is you need at least and the monthly and the basic income with a 12 and with a 12 times. So this is around 30, no, 21 million one maybe, right? Just to check that 1.8 million won and 12 times, yeah, 2.6 million won. 21.6 million. It is the at least. This is my recommendation. And also there were certain it is not the mandatory and the things and you have to do that. If you prepare that and it is very beneficial, but it is my very important and experience. So if you need and a more detailed one, you may ask me and we can proceed it together. Okay, today I just explained about the benefit for the D2-7 visa holders in Korean government scholarship student when you apply for the F5. So I'd like to recommend it to the permanent residency and with a D2-7. So how to check the D2-7? You can call 1345 by your own self, right? And they can check your D2-7 whether you got a D2-7 or not. And also I'd like to recommend you F510 if you have a E71 visa, right? You have to have this one. You have to work that one, right? The E71 because of our D2 cannot apply for the F510 itself because of our F5 visa need D7, D8, D9 and the E1 to E7 and F2 itself, okay? So without the that kind of visa in the F510 it is not available. The most important thing is F510 and E71 itself, you have a GNI 80% income, right? It's a mandatory in contract. So if you prove the GNI, but F510 don't need it, right? They said it, but E71 visa itself need a GNI 80%. right? So I'd likely recommend you to meet the GNI 80%, even if there is no income is required, because but you got an 871 and you have to meet current your contract, right? The second one, F516. F516 is if you are holding F2-7 visa, right? F2-7 visa from E7 and D8, it doesn't matter, right? So if you got an F2-7, right? So it is not the proof your previous year's income is not mandatory, but my recommendation is to meet at least 12 times a monthly basic income, right? Because if you don't have any kind of income, even though there is no any indication for the income is required for the F516 from F2-7 previously in condition and that you hold D2-7 before before E7 or before F2-7 you have to you had to have and D2-7, right? But my recommendation is even if F2-6 F516 from F2-7 previously you have D2-7, it is not required for the income proving, but I said that you need to meet at least and 12 times over the monthly basic income. Can you understand? Okay. If if my the lecture is very good and you can join a like a button nerd, so you can subscribe my YouTube channel, right? So if you want to get more information, more detailed information, and a lecturing for that, kindly share my YouTube channel and not or and subscribe my YouTube channel. And your subscribing is very good for me and cheer for me and give a motivation to make the new one for the new and criteria, new explanation. Okay, this is Mr. Zhang, the Visa in Korea. See you next time for what a very more informative information. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye bye.